issue?
Yep.
Same time at 0%, okay? Our regional appropriations, extension, no, let's see, home and health care is at 25. Apparently, we have not gotten any, as of the 31st, there were no requests.
Right, that was the first quarter, and I think these regionals waited till the budget was passed
Mhm.
because they
That's
didn't
what
know.
they do, yeah. So that, at the moment, overall, they're at 9%, but that's just, doesn't mean that they're not spending the money. Capital reserves, it's nothing, it's just a way for us to keep track of what's going on at the convention. We're at 14%. Anybody, any questions on that? And it looks like, I think that our mileage, we're still doing pretty good with mileage. We have meeting expense 4,000 at 20%, and travel expense. Okay, where,
I don't think all of our meetings were booked.
okay. Oh, the other thing is that, did we get a check from our last meeting, or are we going to double it up and,
After this meeting.
okay, yeah, so I think it's 2 meetings in a row. Okay,
The other question is the mileage rate went up. Are we changing the mileage rate for?
the mileage rate went up for the federals, but I don't know, that was like the 1st of July.
Yeah, but
I don't know, I think we change our rates in the 1st of January, don't we?
On there, it went up from 51, which is, well, but to 55, which is now the federal rate also.
Okay.
According to that, it's up to 55.
Yes, we are following the feds, and I
Yeah.
don't, and that's when it,
When it changes, I believe, Madam Chairman, when it changes, the feds change, then everybody else changes.
Okay, yeah, so I guess we're changing.
That's July 1st, it went up.
Yep. Okay, capital expenditures, we're at 0.
I will say,
Yeah.
Madam Chairman, on administration building, I don't know if you noticed, but our lights are a lot brighter in all our rooms throughout. That has been done, completed, as far as a changeover. We did have a problem in this room because it was on a sensitive instrument, so that when you walk in the room, it comes on. Well, we were sitting in here and it went off, so you got to have movement. So I think they changed that. And the bathrooms are supposed to be the same way. When you enter, it comes on. When you leave, it goes off. We do have out for bidding for a panel to control the heat and the AC. And those bids will be coming in, I believe, in August, and we'll go from there. But we haven't spent the $60,000. And I can't tell you right offhand what we've spent, but you'll get that in the next quarter.
Okay, so we've got, but it's good, yes, and the lighting is good. Yeah. Glad we're not in the dark. Anything else on that one? The Mountain View Nursing Home Annex, nothing at the moment for, that's our old building, right?
That's the old building.
Okay. And it looks like overall for the general fund, we're at 16%, so we're doing pretty good. Enterprise fund, total nursing home administration, we're at 21%. Any questions on, for the nursing home administration? Okay? Yeah, I'll represent under the,
Yes, thank you, Madam Chairman. I would ask that Patty, is that the right name?
Sandy.
No, was it Patty? Who answered me? Paula, sorry, wrong name. That Paula forward to, or you do, to all of the delegation, her answers to my questions, and then that way, I don't need to go through them again.
We'd be happy to.
Thank you.
okay. So the questions that you have here, or that you have given them, they're going to send them all to us. Okay, all right. At the nursing home administration, 21%. Any questions? Representative Aldrin.
On line 27, feasibility study special. I guess I just don't understand that $1.4 million number there.
I think when they process the monthly payment, on the building project, they use that account, that line, and then do a journal entry to charge it to the $23 million.
Okay.
It's our way of tracking
Okay.
the monthly payment that we pay on the construction.
Very good. I was wondering how we got $1.4
Yeah,
million
yeah,
over
yeah,
budget on
yeah,
the
no,
figure
no,
line.
no.
Good.
Okay, that's how we track it. All right, for the nursing home dietary, we are at 20%. Are there any questions on the dietary? 20% of the dietary, okay. Nursing department overall with that, we are at 21%. Any questions, Representative
I
Batson?
had my hand up on the nursing home dietary.
Okay, Susan, dietary?
Just a quick question, the overtime. It isn't like the nurses where you have to have so many nurses per person in the home. Why do we have overtime for a dietary department?
When you have personnel, maybe more than one employee out on FMLA, you know, it's not that there's a lot of beef in the system there, so we walk a very fine line. So obviously, Rob is very close on his budget and his projections, but when you have people out because of illness, and we're not talking a day or two, we're talking weeks, then we have to supplement, particularly if it's in the areas of cooks and what have you, because, you know, once you're asking other people to work, you know, you have to sort of supplement your program. But we have, during the first quarter, we've had nurses don caps and nets and work in the dish department to try to ease the load. We've had, so we try to float people, as you will, to other departments, but they don't want me in the kitchen. So if it is cooking and things, you know, we do need to ask for people to work overtime.
Okay, so we
Thank
do
you.
have an employee that's sick.
We've had employees that are out on
That are on
FMLA.
Okay. Representative Fleck.
Yes, question for Ms. McKenzie. On the consultant line, on the dietary, is that going to continue that way, or is that related to the new nursing home or transitional activity, or what?
No, our consultant on that line is our dietary consultant.
Okay.
And she's a dietitian. And we had, first quarter, we had a number of residents with very tenuous medical situations, and so that caused the dietitian to be there longer. There are weeks that she's there hardly, you know, at very minimal time. But that our dietitian is not employed, she's a contracted service.
So we wouldn't have a reason to believe that that would continue at that rate. It might be less, it could be a little bit more, whatever.
Right.
Okay, that's good, thank you.
Any further questions on the dietary?
Madam Chairman,
Yes.
Kathy Gary's got an answer for the unemployment tax expense, changing between departments.
Yes.
It's a flat, stays the same, whether you're in dietary or in the farm or whatever. There's no risk involved. It's the unemployment tax. It's just, that's the way it is.
Okay,
That
so
was Mr. Representative
so
Bassett's question.
for our unemployment, all of our.
Everybody, it's the same rate.
Same rate.
All of our staff in the complex.
Right.
Is at the same rate.
Workers' comp can fluctuate
Mhm.
based on whether office, nursing home, police, corrections, but unemployment's the same rate.
I wasn't concerned with compensation.
Okay.
Workers' comp. Okay. So the unemployment is the same. Yes, Representative McCarthy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. On the propane gas, we're at almost 50%.
Tell me where you're looking at. You under
On
nursing?
line
062.
52,
Okay.
062.
Okay, that's
Which
the,
page?
Page 13, third line down.
we're at 49%.
062.
The propane gas,
yes.
that's the same issue that we have, that's the heating, right?
Yep.
That's like the fuel. Okay, Representative Parker, that's like the fuel that we had in, jail?
Okay, that goes back to what we were talking about before.
Yeah. Okay,
Yes, thank you.
all right. We're at the, yes, Representative Umberger.
This is more of a statement, but I do feel that when Representative Batson is looking at the propane cost, that he also get for something to do with the cost of the wood pellets and the
You want a comparison between
the
the
trade-offs,
propane and the wood?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure that until we start burning, we're gonna be able to know that, but at least what, I think there's an estimate out there.
40% more efficient.
No, but the estimate for how many wood pellets you have to buy.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter whether it's efficient or not, if it's,
I can speak to that. The engineer who designed the building has estimated that we're going to burn 400 tons of pellets.
okay. And do we know how much right now?
I've got two different prices so far, one at $210 a ton and another at $195 a ton. You're in the area of $80,000
For the heating?
for the pellets.
Okay. And that takes care of hot water as well?
In the new nursing home, partially, yes.
okay,
Thank you.
all right. Anything else that we want to talk about on the nursing home? And we're at 21%. Planned operations. We are at 22%. Representative Sonke?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. A question brought up earlier under care of grounds, and looking at our new building that has many more doors, exits and entries. I'm assuming we have a higher cost for snow removal of that, and so are
There'll
we
be an
looking?
additional cost, yes.
Additional cost. And I'm sure that was factored in. Are we able to use our prison population for that in the winter to help us defer that?
Sure, yeah.
And do you have more lawn or less lawn to care for now related to that?
We got more lawn, and the lawn is more difficult because of the slopes. If you drive around the new nursing home, the way the survey company did it for drainage and so forth, we got more slopes, and therefore we're going to be doing more weed whacking rather than mowing with a riding lawnmower.
But inmates will do that, go ahead.
So in this year, I understand you probably have more expense because you're caring for two buildings there into a growing season. Do you feel comfortable in your monies that you have set aside for that? And following next year, do you see that that'll probably be an increase in your opinion?
I think we have to wait and see. They haven't seeded it yet, so we're not doing any mowing at the new nursing home. I doubt if we will do any mowing, maybe one mowing this fall, and we can tell better then as to how many hours it takes to do that.
Thank you.
Okay, Representative Babson?
Yes, Madam Chairman, on the question of the propane, to help Representative Umberger, the tank is owned by
Easton.
Easton Propane,
I'm familiar
and
with
other companies won't fill it, so we're kind of in a bind.
I understand that.
Okay. All right, we're at plant operations, we're at 22% as of the 31st of March. Okay. Laundry department, we're at 17% as of the 31st of March. All right. Any questions? Housekeeping department, we're at 20% overall. Physicians and pharmacy. What's the closed account? Oh, that's it, zero, never mind. Employee physical, all right. Questions on physicians and pharmacy? Seeing them, they're at 17%. Physical therapy department, they're at 24%. Any questions? Recreation department, at 19%. Okay, as of